Freddy idea of like him working someone would be really actually pretty cool. It would work for Freddy because Freddy's confined to like the dream world. He can't really get awake unless he's pulled out. So what I say is like he's kind of desperate. He brings someone in who's like kind of hates the world, and then he kind of like works with that person. And if that person works with him, he'll kind of like become immortal like Freddy. But that's like a way of like never like dying, always being alive. Kind of like this is a random comparison, but like the movie Candyman. But like you know how he brings the Helen character, like she becomes immortal, something like that along the lines of that. But this person's like willingly working with him, not like they're possessed, but like willingly working. I think it could work for Freddy, and it could also work to be like crossover films.
Like somebody that's just full of hate that finds like Freddy's glove, and then brings him in the world again. Reenacts his crimes, basically.
Well,
goes around and kills people randomly or something.
That could work for the sequel too, because it's kind of like pays tribute to the second movie.
Yeah.
But like in it with the different twist.
Well, yeah.
But I think what's special about Freddy and Michael and Jason and everything, and certain other horror icons, is that it's great that they work together, and like the first time you see them, you don't really know too much about them. They're just there to kill. So to bring in these ideas, it's cool and everything, but it just has to work well. I mean, sometimes it works well in movies when you bring in like a partner for this killer, and sometimes it doesn't. I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of mixed with that.
I thought it worked pretty well with Freddy vs. Jason when he was using Jason to basically strike fear back into Elm Street.
Yeah.
But however, that also brings up another point that as soon as Jason got out of line and killed somebody that Freddy wanted to kill himself, Freddy would immediately turn on the person that he is trying to possess or force them to kill.
Freddy's an egomaniac.
Yeah,
He's a diva.
but I still say it would work well because it's something new to add to the series. Because you don't want the same formula like repeated.
Yeah.
That would be just pretty sweet. I mean, there was a script like I heard that instead of like going with this script, they went with Freddy's Dead that Peter Jackson wrote.
Yeah.
Director like Lord of the Rings.
I remember that. Peter Jackson wrote an Elm Street movie.
And the idea was better than Freddy's Dead by like so much. It was like Freddy's powers are lost. It was like a dare game where they had to like go into the dream world.
Yeah.
And they kind of just mess around with them. That's a cool idea.
Well, here's the thing, why didn't Peter Jackson just be like, hey, I'm Peter Jackson, and I directed Lord of the Rings, now I can make a Freddy movie because I can. Why doesn't he just come in and do it?
Well, I guess...
I think now, since he's done the Lord of the Rings movies, I mean, he started his career with horror movies, and now he's moved on to bigger things. I don't know if he'd want to come back and do it.
I think it's like Sam Raimi. Sam Raimi did big movies. He came back and did a horror movie because he missed it. I think Peter Jackson could do it.
I would love to see Peter Jackson do an Elm Street movie. That would be so awesome. And imagine how many people would go to it, and it would breathe life into like the series again.
Yeah, and get everyone liking it.
That's the thing. Like, why is it that like horror directors, they go with like their classical like films that they're like really into, and then when they become really big, it's like, oh, the horror genre's below me. I don't want to touch that. I'm up here. I don't want to go there. Like, you know what I mean?
It's not about that really. I just think like if Peter Jackson were to come back to the horror genre, I don't know if he'd want to do a Freddy film. He might want to do something different.
Original.
Something original.
I'll be down for that,
Yeah.
I like characters.
I think he might do that. I mean, I think he would. It's not, he might possibly come back to the horror genre, but I don't know if he'd want to do a Freddy film. I don't know. He might. I don't know.
I still say they could use that script for like Elm Street 2, like his old script, but like modify it.
Yeah.
Because like Freddy's powers are weak or something. That'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they could use that concept, and I have to agree, like, it's good to change up, a sequel and not have like the standard sequel each time. So, like,
But you have to be careful on doing it because you don't want to massively screw it up either.
Well, I think the thing about Peter Jackson is like he did a lot of horror films, and then he kind of was like, well, I'm gonna do something different, so I'm gonna go do Lord of the Rings. So I think it's like directors that they try to do different things and they don't want to go back and revisit things they've already done, kind of.
Mm-hmm. I guess I think he might come back to it, but again, I don't know. I don't see him doing, and this is my opinion, I just don't see him doing a sequel to Nightmare on Elm Street. I see he might come back and do something original because he started off with horror movies. He did Frighteners, which was a horror movie comedy.
Yeah.
So he went back to the horror genre, but just I don't know about Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, I would like to see Samuel Bear come back from Elm Street too. I know that he's not interested in doing it because he wants to do something totally different now. But like, I thought he did a really good job with the first movie. I really liked the direction in it. I have to say that's probably the best thing about the remake was the direction, because it.
I did like all of those remakes, the dream sequences, because they were pretty unique.
Yeah.
I did like most of the dream sequences in that movie.
Yeah, they're beautifully shot. Like the cinematography and the scenes are fantastic. I mean,
but it's also there's some dream sequences are artistic. Like you had that one, and even at the trailer where Nancy's walking and she walks through the snow. I mean, that's pretty artistic and unique that they went with that type of dream sequence.
Yeah, and there was tons of, Samuel Bear had tons of great ideas and that were in the script that he did film, and he had a fantastic ending, like the scene in the church that got cut, and I just really wish that someday I get to see that scene because I saw the pictures of it and I was like, I wish I saw this. I mean, I liked the ending in the movie, but I would have liked to have seen his ending too. You know what I mean? You've seen the pictures, right, of the church?
Yeah, I've seen pictures of it. Mm-hmm.
I hope that someday those scenes actually resurface and we get them on like a Blu-ray set.
How about a director's cut?
Yeah, or a director's cut, or just see the lead scenes, see what got cut out of the film, basically.
See, that's the thing I hate. Like, I'm like, unless it's like an alternate scene, I say like for like every DVD release, that all deleted scenes should just be like inserted back into director's cuts. Why not just make a director's cut to like most movies?
Yeah.
Or something like that, because it's just our extended cut. Because I like that in movies where they just have like extra scenes.
Yeah, and then you can choose which version you like better, kind of thing, you know? Or
so at the end of the day,
basically, I mean, just like Blade Runner, right? Look how many different cuts there are of that movie.
5 different versions of Blade Runner. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. I don't know. I just would really like to see those films resurface somewhere. You know, I don't think they really gave it a chance. I just would like to see them.
Well, and also they might have, they might have screen tested to an audience before the film came out, and there could have been fans. Well, they might have liked it, but it probably didn't fit the concept of Freddy and Nightmare on Elm Street. You never know. I mean, it could have been. There could be reasons why. There could be many reasons why they kept us seeing out of the movie.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, I heard it was a lot to do with audience reception because they were taking notes basically on what the audience liked and didn't like, and then they kind of like refilmed those scenes and like, changed them basically.
Well, and that's when you're talking about the fans and everything, and the audience, what they think about it, these film companies, most of the time, the reason why they have and look at the movie, like they have these screenings for fans and an audience,